by the end of the week away from the lake. It'll be cooler here by the lake as it is now with our 37 and the 30-mile-an-hour northeast winds that you see blowing. This is where the moisture comes up and spins up into the cool air and makes the rain. So, but at least we're not getting the severe weather. It's been an active week down in the south, and you can see the severe weather reports and the tornado watches in Florida and Georgia at this hour. Well, here's our jet stream. The big buckle in the jet. This cold pool with its rain comes over us. But when the jet stream does this, it buckles. This is a dome of warm air trying to get going. It may be masked a little by the wind off the lake, but that should warm us up a little as the week goes on. And here you see the warm air coming up into the system. It's 37 here, but 72 at Nashville. Then you go west. Here's the warm-up that comes in here later in the week. So while we're 11 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time, all this orange out west means things are warming up. And there's some better weather on the way. The winds are north at 14 at O'Hare sustained, and the humidity is 50%. Our forecast for the afternoon is steady rain will become more occasional, but it will never totally end, I'm afraid, this afternoon, or at least it won't be far away. It's cool. High temperatures, only 42 degrees. And we look for those northeast winds at 12 to 24 miles an hour. Rain at times tonight, some mixed drizzle and blustery and chilly, low 37. Northeast winds at 8 to 18 miles an hour. Tomorrow, gray, damp, and cool, little light rain or drizzle, high in the 49-degree range at at O'Hare, but low 40s at the shoreline. Still the northeast winds blow, and they will again on Wednesday, but we're hoping for some breaks for sun in the afternoon after a little drizzle in the morning. 58 but 40s at the lakeshore, and winds continue off the lake. Our 7-day forecast here takes us from 56 Wednesday inland to 62 Thursday and 67 Friday. Cooler both days near the lake, 60 even on Saturday. And then it rains again over the weekend, turns kind of cool and windy on Sunday. But that's kind of nice, isn't it?
Kind of nice. That's fabulous.
I tell you, beggars can't be choosers, and no, we are begging meteorologically for some warmer weather.
In April, you take what you can get.
That's right. We got to give props to those fans who actually go to the game on opening day.
They are loyal, aren't they? Our Cubby fans.
All right, listen, we got some numbers for you. Right?
Yeah, the folks at home.
The results of today's WGN midday poll. Do you think this is the year for the Cubs to go all the way? Well, the results a little close, but still optimistic. In fact, 55% of you must be eternal optimists because you said yes, they could go all the way, and 45% of you, White Sox fans. White Sox fans, maybe, yeah, say, not going to happen this year. We will see.
Fingers crossed. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, our Cubs special, Next Year Is Here, is up next. Then the Cubs take on the Rockies, weather permitting. Have a great afternoon.
Hi, guys.
Come on, guys. Take those hands up.
What a good-looking group.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
They got the power, they got the speed to be the best in the National League. Well, this is the year and the Cubs are in. So come on down to Wrigley Field. We're singing now, go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win.
Yes, next year is here, and boy, is it cold. Wrigley Field being hit by wind and rain at this moment, but we are told that there is a window out there and that maybe by 2 o'clock or so, we may get this game started. Opening day 2009, the first home game here at Wrigley Field this season. Fans braving the elements, and so are we just outside the third base dugout here at beautiful Wrigley Field. Dan Roan, nice to have you along today for Next Year Is Here as we get set for the 2009 season opener here at Wrigley Field, the Cubs and the Colorado Rockies. First, before we talk about today's game and the weather, let's talk about what's happened so far during this Cubs season. The first 6 games have been played on the road and off to a terrific start. a record of 4-2. This is the opening night game in Houston the other night, and Alfonso Soriano's first at bat of 2009, and he knocked it over the fence. A home run for Sori. A scene that would be repeated later on in the week. And Aramis Ramirez also going deep in that game as the Cubs picked off an opening day victory down there in Houston. On Tuesday, with President and Mrs. Bush in the house, not so good. Although there were some bright spots. Again, Soriano goes deep late in the game to tie things up for the Cubs. But on this occasion, they were not able to hang on. A late inning run for the Astros gives them their first victory of the season, and the series goes even at a game apiece. On Wednesday, more long ball. Kosuke Fukudome off to a torrid start in 2009. A home run for him, and another one for Little Babe. Mike Fontenot, 3-run jack, as the Cubs get out of Houston, winning 2 out of 3. Then it was on to Milwaukee. And a pretty good start on this one. Kick save and a beauty, I'm told, by Rich Harden right there to get an out. And offensively, Coy Hill with a big 2-run homer to put the Cubs back in front in this game in the late innings. But the bullpen faltered on this day, and the Brewers were able to get a run. Ricky Weeks on his way home and just beat Ryan Terrio's throw to the plate, so the Brewers win their home opener on Friday. But the Cubs had a couple of chances at revenge in this series, and they took advantage. On Saturday, Fukudome again down the line and gone. A home run for him. But the Cubs were trailing 5-4 in the top of the ninth when Alfonso Soriano did it again. Soriano knocks it over the wall, a 2-run shot to give the Cubs a 6-5 lead. And on this game, Carlos Marmol got the call at the end and struck out Prince Fielder, looking to end it as the Cubs even this series and then go to win it on Sunday night. A couple of unbelievable plays here. First off, the opening pitch, and Soriano does it again. Over the center field fence for a home run, and there were more heroics at the fence from Reed Johnson. Check this out.
The base is loaded. There's a high drive, deep right field. Back is Johnson. He makes a spectacular catch. He robbed him of a grand slam. Great job by Reed Johnson.
Reed Johnson with a spectacular play there on Prince Fielder. Saves a grand slam. Prince had to tip his cap to him on that one as the Cubs win and win 4 of the first 6 games on the road. And right now we check in earlier today with Lou Piniella, who talked about some changes in the lineup due to weather and due to injury, and about playing in this cold, cold weather here at Wrigley Field.
Strategically, I don't know if my brain works too well in real cold weather. No, we've got a different lineup out there today. We got a lineup basically that more contact, a little more speed, so we can utilize that area, put the game in motion a little more, maybe bunt, hit and run. If the other pitcher gives it an opportunity, steal a base, unless the infield is really, really soggy. Just play a game of a smaller ball. And I've known from spring training that at times this year we're going to have to play this type of lineup. So might as well get used to it.
Oh, I know. Well, we're back at Wrigley Field. Crane Kenny, Cubs boss, has joined us down on the field, and for that, we appreciate it. This is where we got off last year, isn't it, on opening day?
Feels like Groundhog Day. About the same temperature, same precip last year.
You know, last year we talked about some of the new seating in the ballpark on opening day 2008. 2009, there's something different outside the ballpark.
Yeah, we right after the Winter Classic, we finished the hockey game in January. We started construction on a 12-month club called the Captain Morgan Club. So we've got room for 700 inside and outside. You know, what we did last year was we listened to the fans who talked about creating more social space for them inside the ballpark. They wanted more restrooms, and so we quadrupled the number of restrooms in that space. And we hope it's an amenity they enjoy.
You know, I'm sure they will, and space is at such a premium in this ballpark that you were able to get 700 people into a place is really kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, well, we took away some of the outside apron around the ballpark. It really was going unused and canopied it, so we've got the 2 pavilions where right today, with this weather, they're all inside, and then when the weather turns a little nicer, we'll open those doors up, and it'll turn into sort of like a giant beer garden.
Great. It'd be a great place to hang out, especially during the summer. What do you hear about the weather? What's the latest?
Well, we're gonna probably start a half an hour late. We got a front that's coming through that should end here in about 10-15 minutes. Then Roger will pull the tarp, dump the water, prepare the field, and we'll get off the ground here a little bit late.
Amazing to see these fans out here already, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, really, they're so deserving. You know, we're back at it. I think you saw with Lou's intensity over the weekend that he's in sort of July form in April. And everyone knows we got work to be done, and they deserve a winner. So that's our job.
All right, Crane, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Go find somewhere warm to hang out.
Will do.
Crane Kenny joining us here in the pregame show, and we are back with more right after this from rainy Wrigley Field.
Next Year is Here is brought to you by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Dodge dealers. To find the dealer nearest you and information on all Dodge vehicles, visit DodgeRockChicago.com. And by Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit RefreshEverything.com.
Just by searching the web. It's called the Search Engine, and it's real easy to use. Go to WGNAmerica.com and click on the Search Engine link. Sign yourself up, and you can earn points towards free stuff with every search. The more you use the Search Engine, the more swag bucks you get to cash in. And if you tell a friend, you can double your bucks. So why not get free stuff for an internet search you were going to do anyway? It's the Search Engine on WGNAmerica.com, and it's your ticket to free stuff. And in times like these, who couldn't use some free stuff?
There is only one place to see it all. World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, one-hour show featuring every WWE superstar.
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn
The rated R superstar.
Charismatic Enigma. The Legend Killer, Randy Orton.
Time to play a game.
Rest in peace.
Every diva.
The most beautiful athletic women in the world.
Every heart-pounding moment.
You can't miss this.
WWE Superstars. Every Thursday. Only on WGN America. Expect action. Expect drama. Expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America. Superstar.
Hi, I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep out on the street.
We're gonna see some amazing places. We're pretty much in the clouds. Meet incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
All without ever knowing what's around the next corner. On Around the World for Free. Premieres Thursday at 9 East, 9 West. A WGN America original.
opening day, and you never know about the weather in Chicago, but the temperature started to drop. I think about 40 degrees or something like that. And Bob Gibson threw me a ball sliding on the side. And, you know, I made good contact with it. I didn't know the ball was going out the ballpark. I'm running down to first base, and I get up, get up, get up. This is normal, you know, what you say when you hit a ball. But the ball happened to go in the stands, and we won the ball game in the 10th inning. And it was some kind of exciting. That was another exciting opening day.
There's a pretty good shot to center field. A very good shot. The ball game's over. The Cubs win it on a Billy Williams home run. looks like the World Series, doesn't it? With all those players crowded around the hero of the afternoon, Billy Williams, as his tremendous home run to right center broke the 1-1 deadlock and gave the Cubs a 2-1 victory on opening day in 10 innings.
And Billy Williams, retired number, flying above Wrigley Field here today on the cold and dreary and damp afternoon for the season opener. And I want to thank my buddy Spike here for holding the umbrella. Another hero on opening day. Right now, before we go any further, we want to check in with the guys upstairs. Len Casper and Bob Brenly are standing by to talk about this game, should it be played, and we think it will. And my only question to you guys is, whose contract is it in that you guys get to sit up there and I have to sit out here in the rain? I'm going to talk to my agent immediately when this is over.
Well, Dan, if it means anything to you, we're the only booth up here with the windows open, and that goes back to your days with Harry Carey, Bob.
Yes,
I see that.
You know, Harry told me the fans won't believe you if you have glass in the booth, so we're following Harry's lead here.
Yeah, you can't tell people it's cold and it's rainy out here if you're sitting in a hermetically sealed booth, but we do hope to get this one going here maybe about a half hour late, as you heard Crane Kenny earlier. The Cubs got in around 1 o'clock, 1:30, so not working on a ton of sleep, but the adrenaline takes over here in the home opener.
Oh, no question. The home opener, the clubhouse was jammed early this morning with writers and reporters and cameras. Players have been asked to do a lot of different interviews and things like that leading up to game time. Unfortunately, because of the conditions, they weren't able to get on the field. Lou had pretty much canceled the pregame workout today because of the late arrival last night, but a lot of the guys showed up early, went down to the cage in right center field, got some cuts in, and come game time, they'll be ready to go.
We mentioned this number last week. It had been 23 years since the Cubs last began a season with nobody on the DL. Well, that's fine and dandy, but unfortunately the Cubs right now have 3 regular position players who are day-to-day.
Well, and day-to-day is the good news. None of the injuries serious enough to disable the players, but Aramis Ramirez has a little issue with his back, Milton Bradley with the groin, and of course Giovanni Soto with the right shoulder. I did see Giovanni Soto out on the field just a few moments ago playing catch in the rain with trainer Mark O'Neill. They're looking for Wednesday for him to get back into the lineup.
All right, Dan, the biggest applause for anyone on the field today, other than you, of course, was when Reed Johnson went out to the batting cage, and Carlos Zambrano got everybody in the bleachers up for Reed Johnson. What a great catch that was last night.
Boy, was it ever. And we're going to see that one again in just a second and hear what Reed had to think about it. But, you know, we talked to Jim Hendry as we look up at the booth and see that you guys are braving the elements as well. We appreciate that. Makes us all feel better down here outside third base. But Jim Hendry told us that Gio could go today if he had to go. Now, I'm sure they don't want to put him out there in any kind of weather like this, but in a pinch hitting situation, we may see him before the day is done. The other 2 guys certainly won't play. Bradley and Aramis Ramirez, but they should be back by Wednesday, which is good news. And now back to the Reed Johnson situation. Boy, last night, you talk about a game-saving catch. The Brewers were about to tie it up on Prince Fielder's grand slam, only it became not a grand slam as Reed leaped over the fence there to make the catch. And earlier today, we had a chance to talk to him. It's not the first time Reed's done that, but that was one of the best ones he has made as a Cub, no question about it.
Initially, when the ball went up, I knew that it carried pretty well to right center field there, and you know, I knew that it was going to be deep, but I thought it wasn't really going to be a play that was going to, you know, take me over the wall. And you know, as the play kind of developed, it just kept pushing me, you know, farther and farther back to the wall. And I knew I was going to have to time a jump, and it, you know, worked out great.
I saw him tip the cap. Did you get a chance to say anything to him afterwards?
No, I didn't really get to see him tip his hat till after the game was over. But I got to first base, and you know, I was just like, man, that's the first time I really robbed a home run. And I kind of stopped myself in the middle of it and said, man, I know you don't want to hear that, but he was, you know, he enjoys playing the game. He loves playing baseball. He's a great guy to watch play the game. Plays the game the right way, and you know, I think he was. I know he wasn't really as excited for me. I'm sure he would have rather it go out of the yard, and you know, obviously would have helped his team, you know, win the ball game. But you know, it's just a great experience for me, and you know, for the Cubs as well.
First time robbing a homer. What's it feel like?
Oh man, in that situation, it's, you know, if it was 12-1 or 10-0, you know, either way they were winning or we were winning. It's, you know, it'd still be a, you know, a great feeling to take away a home run, and but in that situation, it makes it even more special.
Reed Johnson, one of the heroes on this Cubs road trip. They win 4 out of 6. Terrific start for them. And there may be some Cub fans in the house that remember another former Cubs outfielder who was a big hero on opening day, Willie Smith.
It was kind of like a knuckleball. You know, it didn't have a lot of spin on it, and I didn't know whether it was going to carry enough to get out. So immediately I'm hauling Fanny to try to score from first base if the ball's off the wall. And but luckily he got the ball out of the ballpark, and what a thrill.
Deep to right, back, it's all over. Willie Smith just homered. The Cubs win the game. And look at the reception at home plate for Willie Smith. Oh, boy. Oh, man.
There is only one place to see it all. World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, 1-hour show featuring every WWE superstar.
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn
The rated R superstar.
Charismatic Enigma.
The Legend Killer, Randy Orton.
Time to play the game. Rest in peace.
Every diva.
The most beautiful athletic women in the world.
Every heart-pounding moment.
You can't miss this.
WWE Superstars. Every Thursday. Only on WGN America. Expect action. Expect drama. Expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America.
Join the Night Watchman as he secures the fortress in an ongoing quest to keep it safe from mediocre television. Travel deep down to the movie underground to screen another movie mind fresh from the vaults. Friday. Rocky and Bullwinkle go to college?
Oh, scholarship.
Don't miss this special Movie Underground presentation of The Bullwinkle Show. Enter the Movie Underground Friday night at 8 East 5 West right here on WGN America. Just by searching the web. It's called the Search Engine, and it's real easy to use. Go to WGNAmerica.com and click on the Search Engine link. Sign yourself up, and you can earn points towards free stuff with every search. The more you use the Search Engine, the more swag bucks you get to cash in. And if you tell a friend, you can double your bucks. So why not get free stuff for an internet search you were going to do anyway? It's the Search Engine on WGNAmerica.com, and it's your ticket to free stuff. And in times like these, who couldn't use some free stuff?
You know what I like to see?
You gotta see this.
What would you like to see? Something funny. What is this, high school?
Seems like it. Everybody's having sex but me.
I'm just a regular guy. I want to see what everybody else wants to see.
Mama!
Well, wait. Go back. You may want to watch this. I like to see a television show about us. Perfect. I just sat there watching and watching and watching and watching and watching.
I didn't start the game, and I think Billy Buckner was playing first, and he hurt his leg again or something, so I came in like the 6th inning, something like that, and we're playing the Pirates, and he got to the bottom of the 9th inning, and of course the game was tied.
So the stage is now set for another one of those opening day finishes reminiscent of 1969. Remember that one when Willie Smith broke it up? Here is Larry Bittner. Jim Bibby is the pitcher.
I just jokingly turned to Herman and said, hey, I'm just going to hit a home run. I'll get this game over with. I'm going to hit a home run. And lo and behold, I mean, the first pitch I think Bibby threw me, Jim Bibby was the pitcher, and I had played against him, or not against him, but with him down in Texas. And he, big guy, I knew he was going to throw a fastball. And, I just jumped on the first pitch, and lo and behold, it went out of the park. So, pretty exciting.
That's a fly ball. That's very deep to left center. Back goes Marino. Back. Hey! It's all over! Bittner just hit an opposite field home run, and the Cubs have won this game.
That's the bleachers. ...1978, maybe these people who are skipping school for opening day will see some history made here at Wrigley Field. But before we get to that, we're going to look back a little bit more with one of our favorite former Cubs. Jody Davis is with us. It's 25 years, JD, since 1984. Can you even imagine it?
No, it really seems like just yesterday, coming out here today and seeing all these fans. It's really unbelievable. 25 years, seems like 3 or 4.
It really does. Now, you were telling me you played on a worse day than this on an opening day and actually got the game in.
I believe it was either 03 or 02. I'm not 03, 83 or 82. It snowed 9 inches. And I called in. I was from the suburbs living out there, called in. Do we have to come in? And, being from the south, 9 inches of snow, everything shut down. So we came in. They got it off the field, and we played. They couldn't get it out of the stands, though. The fans had quite a time with the umpires with some snowballs, but it was a treat.
I imagine it was. And, 1984, the Cubs hadn't won anything since way back in 45, hadn't won any kind of a championship of any kind. And you guys able to put it together. And here's the finish, Jody, in Pittsburgh. I remember that night well, and I know you do too. They called third strike. Sut fired it in there. And they tell me you still have that baseball somewhere.
Yeah, I still got it at home. I go down and look at it every now and then. But that was quite a year. Great bunch of guys. Sut would have had a no-hitter in that game if Orsulak. I think Orsulak had the 2 hits, and that's who Sut struck out at the end of the game. But quite a year.
Yeah, that was the year in which he was traded to the Cubs from Cleveland. I guess it was about the 1st of June and wound up winning 16 and losing only 1. And I think the one he lost was to the Dodgers, where he had broken into the big leagues.
Yeah, he was probably a little pumped up facing the Dodgers. They kept him off the playoff roster his rookie year, and he won the Rookie of the Year, and he was a little upset about that. So I'm sure he had a little extra going in that game.
Didn't he clean off Tommy Lasorda's desk for him at one point?
I think he did get everything off Tommy's desk. I don't know if he got it off or just moved the desk a little bit.
Well, do you know what the Cubs have planned for this season? What kind of memorabilia tour or anything you might want to call it from that 1984 team? You guys going to get together some during the summertime?
No, I don't know. I haven't heard too much about it, but like I said, it was a great team. It was a lot of fun that year in '84, and going back, they hadn't been in the playoffs since so long that we feel like that kind of what got this started here today. At least we want to take a little credit for it anyway.
Well, you really should, because nothing had happened for so many years until then. 39-year drought, and the Cubs finally got in again in '89, and the ball kind of started rolling from there. You're now the minor league catching coordinator for the Cubs. What kind of work does that entail?
Well, I worked with all the catchers all through spring, and now that all the teams have broken camp, I rove around each team, basically working with the catchers pregame, doing some fundamentals with those guys, and then just watching the game, critiquing their game. Maybe I see some things in the game they need to work on, and we'll work on that the next day, and then on to the next team. So it keeps me busy. I'm on the road, but it's a lot of fun working with these kids.
One of your ex-teammates, Greg Maddux, going into the Hall of Fame, having his number retired. He'll go into the Hall of Fame eventually, but he's having his number retired here by the Cubs. He and Ferguson Jenkins both wore 31. I imagine you're happy to see that, and that's an honor that's well-deserved for him.
Oh, well-deserved for both those guys. It's kind of fortunate the way it worked out that both of them wore 31. Hopefully I can get back to that, because I caught both of them. I caught Fergie right there in the twilight, and then caught Greg as he was coming into the league. So, it's quite an honor for me to catch both those guys, and hope I can get back for that.
Well, you and Sut are going to combine on the opening pitch today, I guess, and you're going to sing. But are you more worried about the singing part or the catching part?
Well, knowing Sutcliffe, he'll have some trick for me on that throwing part, that catching part. So, it's just great to be back. It's always good to be back with Sut and, reminisce about some of those old times. And, I'm looking forward to it. The singing, I've done it a couple of times, so it doesn't bother me too much.
Think Sut has anything left?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's already told me he wanted to pitch today when he saw this wind, so, you know, he might be up for an inning or so.
You know, aside from all the great moments of baseball in that 1984 season, there was that terrific musical moment that we all remember so well. So, right now, let's take a quick look at the Men in Blue one more time.
Throughout this land. We're America's real team. It's been a long, long time since 1945. But the Wrigley faithful always kept the spirit alive. And one more thing before we leave that we'll be telling you. We'll keep them flying high for coming blue.
I gotta say, it holds up pretty well.
Well, that was a good clip there, apart from that singing part.
Now, you told me the genesis of that was across the street at Murphy's Bleachers, right?
Oh, yeah. We had the studio rented, and the game got called. It was rained out, and they called it like 11, so we just went across the street, supposedly to have lunch, but it kind of lasted till we had the studio time. So.
Well, it turned out great. And, hey, thanks so much for stopping by on a lousy day here. Go find somewhere warm to wait and have some fun later on today.
Well, it's a lousy day now, but it's going to clear off. We're going to play some baseball.
All right, sounds great. Jody, thanks so much. We appreciate it very much. And thanks to you all for watching, and to our soggy crew out here outside third base. Our WGN crew doing such a great job. Len and Bob are next with the leadoff man, and later on we hope to have some baseball for you. The Cubs and the Rockies here on WGN.
Next Year is Here has been brought to you by Comcast. Catch more games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit southwest.com today.
There is only one place to see it all. World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, one-hour show featuring every WWE superstar.
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn
The rated R superstar.
Charismatic Enigma. The Legend Killer, Randy Orton. Time to play a game. Rest in peace.
Every diva.
The most beautiful athletic women in the world.
Every heart-pounding moment.
You can't miss this.
WWE Superstars. Every Thursday. Only on WGN America. Expect action. Expect drama. Expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America. Superstar.
Hi,
I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep out on the streets.
We're gonna see some amazing places. We're pretty much in the clouds. Meet incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
All without ever knowing what's around the next corner.
On Around the World for Free. Premieres Thursday at 9 East, 9 West. A WGN America original.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. Welcome to a global Sox win! Sox win! Cubs win! They win! There is no limit.
Well, Mother Nature will not dampen the spirit of Cub fans as they file into a soggy Wrigley Field. It's the Hyundai leadoff man here on WGN Sports. The Cubs return home after a nice 4-2 season opening road trip. A lot of the rain gear is out. The ponchos, the umbrellas, and we will have baseball at some point. We will be under a rain delay before the first pitch of the home schedule gets underway, and we'll continue right here on WGN Sports.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs, and by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. We've got your back with America's best warranty, and now Hyundai Assurance Plus.
Only one place to see it all. World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, one-hour show featuring every WWE superstar.
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn
The rated R superstar.
Charismatic Enigma. The What's a Killer, Randy Orton. Time to play a game. Rest in peace.
Every diva.
The most beautiful athletic women in the world.
Every heart-pounding moment.
You can't miss this.
WWE Superstars. Every Thursday. Only on WGN America. Expect action. Expect drama. Expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America.
Just by searching the web. It's called the Search Engine, and it's real easy to use. Go to WGNAmerica.com and click on the Search Engine link. Sign yourself up, and you can earn points towards free stuff with every search. The more you use the Search Engine, the more swag bucks you get to cash in. And if you tell a friend, you can double your bucks. So why not get free stuff for an internet search you were going to do anyway? It's the Search Engine on WGNAmerica.com, and it's your ticket to free stuff. And in times like these, who couldn't use some free stuff?
Hi, I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep out on the streets.
We're gonna see some amazing places. We're pretty much in the clouds. Meet incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
All without ever knowing what's around the next corner.
On Around the World for Free. Premieres Thursday at 9 East, 9 West. A WGN America original.
Welcome back to the Hyundai leadoff man, our Hyundai dealer of the game, our good friends from Poogie Hyundai in Downers Grove. And let's check out who is in the zone, brought to you by AutoZone. We'll check out Ryan Theriot, who's leading the league in batting average and on-base percentage. He has hit in every game so far. And Bob Brenly, he has 5 consecutive 2-hit games going into action today.
Well, needless to say, he's off to a red-hot start, and he's done it from different spots in the lineup. He's been as high as 2, he's been as low as 8, so he figures to be the guy to ping-pong around that lineup for Lou this year.
By the way, Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you as the Cubs will host the Colorado Rockies. The Cubs playing here at Wrigley Field for the 94th year. Ballpark opened in 1914. The Cubs started play here in 1916. We've had a few days like this since 1916 on the north side of Chicago.
Well, yeah, and you'd like to say, well, you get used to it, but I don't think you ever really get used to the cold weather, the wet, the wind blowing off the lake. But the Cubs players that have been here for a number of years, I'm sure, have warned the new guys about how to layer up, how to take care of yourself, how to stay warm, how to pace yourself. And by that I mean spend a little time in the clubhouse, get warm, but yet come out to the bench and make sure you acclimate yourself to the conditions before you go in the game.
Ubaldo Jimenez, a right-hander, will pitch for the Colorado Rockies. It'll be left-hander Ted Lilly for the Cubs. Jimenez coming off a very good start his first time around in Arizona.
Yeah, 3-0 victory against the Diamondbacks. He went 7 strong innings in that game, struck out 8. This is one of the fine young right-handers in all of baseball, and he's got a full arsenal of pitches. Basically fastball splitter to the lefties, fastball slider to the righties, but he also throws a curve and a changeup, so this guy is going to be quite a challenge today.
The lefty Lilly got a lot of run support in his season debut, but he gave up some long balls, and he'll try to keep the ball in the park today.
Well, with an 8-0 lead in the second inning, I think Ted Lilly was just throwing strikes, trying to let his defense work behind him. Unfortunately, 4 of the balls left Minute Maid Park, but Ted Lilly will be up for the task today.
No Milton Bradley in the lineup today. He has the strained groin that popped up during the ball game last night. Also, Aramis Ramirez's back is a little stiff, and you don't want to chance it on a day like this. Sounds like Giovanni Soto is getting better and better every day. He pinch hit. That's a good sign in the 9th inning last night. So of the 3, I would expect Soto's probably the one guy you could use off the bench.
Well, we saw him pinch hit in the ball game up in Milwaukee last night, and that tells you that he's progressed to the point where they feel like he's going to play on Wednesday. If they felt that was not the case, there's no way you use him as a pinch hitter in that ball game last night, because it takes away any backdating you could have possibly done on a DL stint.
All right, so assuming we play today, off day tomorrow, series will wrap up on Wednesday, and we're going to find out if we're going to get this one underway from meteorologist Tom Skilling as we continue the Hyundai leadoff man from Wrigley Field.
You know what I like to see?
You gotta see this.
What would you like to see? Something funny.
What is this, high school? Seems like it. Everybody's having sex but me.
I'm just a regular guy. I want to see what everybody else wants to see.
Mama!
Well, wait. Go back. Give me one to watch this.
I like to see a television show about us.
Perfect.
I just sat there watching and watching and watching and watching and watching.
Chic Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips for a smooth, comfortable shave. Chic Extreme 3, for your skin.
When your neighbors ask who does your lawn, just open your garage. Excellent maneuverability. Wide range of cutting decks. And the quality and great price of Craftsman. Innovations, the broadest selection, and better value. No wonder Craftsman is among America's most trusted brands.
There's no greater joy than giving to your kids for their first tooth, first steps, first set of wheels, first day of practice. But only one gift protects a lifetime of firsts. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 164 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
When my allergies hit, I've got a great new way to hit back. I get Claritin Clear with new Claritin Liquid Gels, the first and only non-drowsy allergy medicine with pure liquid power. Claritin Liquid Gels, a powerful new way to live Claritin Clear.
The bunting is up and blowing in the breeze as we get set for the home opener, the Cubs' third opener when they opened up Minute Maid Park last week and Miller Park in Milwaukee. And today it is Wrigley Field for the first of 81 home dates. The weather's the big story at the moment. And let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Tom Skilling in our WGN Weather Center. Tom, what's going on today?
Another 10 or 15 minutes and this rain may be coming to an end. The radar detectable rain has cleared Oak Lawn right now, and here's a look at the situation. Lots of clouds around here, but I want to show you the radar because you can see what's going on. Got a storm producing these rains today, but its rains have broken down to the south of us. See how they kind of bisect Cook County right now, and they're heading north. We'll animate this. The tall towers in this yellow area where it's raining the heaviest, and this is proceeding north. Now, there's nothing down here to the south. That doesn't mean once the rain ends, it's totally over. We'll probably get some little patchy stuff. But Len and Bob, I think we've got ourselves a break on the rain imminently coming in here. You get the game going. By the way, at the Cubby Bear, it's 36 right now. The winds at last report, and these are updated every couple of seconds, 8 miles an hour. Well, there's a 5, but there have been gusts to 32, so it's pretty chilly. This is the coolest opening day since 2004. My colleague Steve Kahn tells me. So a little damp out there, but some relief on the way, and I think that game will be played pretty soon. That's it from the weather office, Len and Bob.
Let's hope we do watch some Cubs baseball here from Wrigley Field at some point today. That'll wrap up our first edition of the Hyundai Leadoff Man. We will have rain delay programming. Keep it right here. We'll have the Cubs hosting the Rockies. Cubs at 4-2. The Rockies come in at 3-3. More to come from the friendly confines in a moment.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs, and by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. We've got your back with America's best warranty, and now Hyundai Assurance Plus.
Okay, maybe it was my fault.
She told me to kill the weeds.
And you did, along with the grass.
I used the wrong stuff.
Oh, there were dead spots everywhere.
This is the right stuff. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. It kills weeds down to the root. Even the tough ones like dandelion and crabgrass.
But unlike that other stuff, it won't kill the grass. Ortho guarantees it. Kill the weeds, not the lawn.
Weeds, not lawn.
Got it?
Yeah. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max.
Defend what's yours.
Frosted strawberry as an ice cream sandwich. Chocolate fudge on a stick, please.
With the endless possibilities of Kellogg's Pop-Tarts, it's sure to be a picture-perfect summer. Pop-Tarts, made for fun.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
We've got lots of great options. I think you're really going to have fun. Oh.
This one just came on the market. It's a two-bed.
You're hired, buddy.
What? Wait.
Can I help you?
Snack wrap.
What kind, sir?
All of them?
McDonald's Snack Wraps. Chipotle barbecue, ranch, and honey mustard. With grilled or crispy all-white meat chicken. We've got all the flavors. The decision is all yours.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Well, it's an annual holiday here in Chicago, the Cubs home opener, and this one's starting to feel a lot like last year. And hopefully we get the game in like last year, but have a different result as the Cubs host the Colorado Rockies, first of a 2-game series from the friendly confines. Hi again, everyone. Bob Brendley and Len Casper. It's cold, it's rainy, it's windy. But remember, the field is new. Last year they replaced the old field, and whenever it does stop raining, Bob, it shouldn't take too long to get it ready.
No, I mean, the new surface here at Wrigley is really amazing. We saw this field take an enormous amount of rain at times last year, and they give Roger and his ground crew about a half an hour. They'll get it ready to play.
Pretty interesting lineup, which we'll delve into a little bit later on. But the bottom line is the Cubs have 3 regulars out of the lineup, so some opportunities today.
Well, Lou said he was going to try to rest some of the regulars and play some of the bench guys. This is probably a little earlier than he'd like to do it, but we talked about those bench players are strong coming out of spring training. They've seen more at-bats than they probably will at any point in the season, so I guess if there's a silver lining, it's the fact that those guys should be anxious and ready to get in there and do something.
When we do get started, right-hander Ubaldo Jimenez will go for the Rockies. Southpaw Ted Lilly for the Cubs. We'll continue our rain delay program and keep it with us right here from Wrigley on WGN Sports.
Irresistible force meeting the immovable object. Welcome to a global football. Sox win. Sox win. Cubs win. They win. There is no limit.
Medicine that won't make me drowsy. Children's Claritin chewables? I relieve allergy symptoms without making you drowsy. And grape tastes awesome.
It's the #1 pediatrician recommended non-drowsy brand. Let your kids live Claritin Clear.
Check.
Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
Sometimes the best way to get closer is to get as far away from it all as possible. Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. Ready to talk to your doctor? Find out how at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. 20 million men have had the Viagra conversation. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste that never fills you up, the difference is drinkability. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Dodge dealers. To find the dealer nearest you, visit DodgeRockChicago.com. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit RefreshEverything.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit Southwest.com today.
Welcome back to the ballpark. The fans came ready with gloves and hats and umbrellas. And they can't wait for the first pitch, but it is still raining, and we will not get this thing underway until it stops raining completely. And Roger Baird and his great grounds crew kind of pacing around the field, waiting for that moment when they can take the tarp off the infield and we can watch the Rockies and the Cubs. But a little extra time gives us an opportunity to hear from the manager, Lou Piniella, in his 3rd season as the Cubs skipper, and he talked today about the weather and the resulting lineup changes.
Strategically,
I don't know if my brain works too well in real cold weather. No, we've got a different lineup out there today. We got a lineup basically that more contact, a little more speed, so we can utilize that area. Put the game in motion a little more. Maybe bunt, hit and run. If the other pitcher gives it an opportunity to steal a base, unless the infield is really, really soggy, just play a game of a smaller ball. And I've known from spring training that at times this year we're going to have to play this type of lineup. So might as well get used to it. The secret is to get good pitching and play good defense. And the people that we're putting on the field, obviously, can catch the ball and help us win in different ways. So, yeah, I've made out lineups with Ramirez out of it from time to time to see how it would look like, with Bradley out of it from time to time, with Lee out of it from time to time, just to get an idea of what lineups look like. And on paper they look fine, and I think they'll perform on the field, and we'll have to play a little different game, but that's all right too. Reed's an old-fashioned, hard-nosed kid that plays baseball the way it's meant to be played. He's a confident kid, and he works hard. He's always prepared and ready to go, and he'll beat you in many ways. We're going to get him plenty of playing time here this summer. It was a long spring training, first of all. Second of all, a long trip to New York, Houston, Milwaukee. So leaving Arizona, playing 2 series in your own division on the road to start the season, you would be very, very pleased with 4-2. And we are. A lot of good positive things on that trip, some things to straighten out. But early in the season, there are always things to straighten out. So let's just keep playing them one at a time and hopefully continue to win series. Lily's a professional, and last year he got off slow and really built up momentum as the summer wore on, and really, really pitched well. 17 wins. When he gets a little better snap on his breaking ball, gets a little more arm speed, so his changeup is a little more deceptive, and at the same time he gets a little bit more of a ride on his fastball. That's when he's at its best, and he's not that far away from there.
That's Cubs manager Lou Piniella as Roger Baird and company continue to try to get this field ready for Cubs baseball from Wrigley Field. And we'll hear from the radio play-by-play voice of the Cubs, Pat Hughes, as we continue on WGN.
World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, 1-hour show featuring every WWE superstar, every diva, every heart-pounding moment. WWE Superstars, every Thursday, only on WGN America. Expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America.
I hear what you're saying. I just don't do commercials. It's not my thing.
Conan, this is different. It's a ton of money, and it's only going to be seen in Sweden.
Only in Sweden?
All the Hollywood guys do this.
This one commercial couldn't hurt.
Bud Light.
Vroom, vroom, der party starter. Vroom, vroom, party starter.
That wasn't me.
Hey, Conan. Vroom, vroom, party starter.
Party starter.
Excuse me. Do you know the way to Route 70? What is that?
That's the money you could be saving with Geico. Poor fella. Must have been following you for miles. Looks tired.
Tell me who's watching.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This is a strawberry Pop-Tart, and this is the warm, fresh-baked taste of a strawberry toaster strudel. See the difference? Pillsbury Toaster Strudel, the one kids want to eat.
Oh, that's a good sign. Baseball activity actually on the field as a couple of Rockies play catch as we are under a rain delay from Wrigley Field. Cubs got in about 1 o'clock, 1:30 this morning after a night game in Milwaukee last night. Cubs won that game and took 2 of 3 in each of the first 2 road series of the season. It was a pretty wild weekend in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it had a playoff feel about it. I think the Brewers feel they're legitimate contenders in this division. The Cubs certainly feel they're the team to beat, and the fans showed up and responded exactly the way you would expect them to in October.
Let's check out some of the highlights going back to Friday's Game 1. Rich Harden with 10 strikeouts and a fantastic defensive play. The former hockey defenseman with a kick save that saved a run. Coy Hill filling in for Giovanni Soto with a big 2-run homer. Unfortunately, as Seth McClung just kind of throws up his hands. Ryan Braun with the fielder's choice. Game ends as Ryan Theriot tried to cut down Ricky Weeks at home plate. So the Cubs' 2 losses last week ended up in the final at bat. Then on to Saturday, Kosuke Fukudome, Bob, off to a great start.
Boy, and that is huge not only for the Cubs, but for Kosuke. I think there were a lot of questions surrounding him after his second half of the season last year, but off to a blazing start.
So is Alfonso Soriano. Every home run this week's been a big one. That was a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 9th inning in Game 2 off the closer Carlos Villanueva. Carlos Marmol comes on and gets the save, the slider to freeze Prince Fielder as the Cubs even up the series with a chance to take the rubber game last night. And how about the first pitch of the ball game? Bam.
If we've learned nothing else about Alfonso Soriano, you better be in your seats when he sees that first pitch of the ball game, because he's more than likely going to do that.
So Soriano with his 4th home run. Looked like Prince Fielder was going to tie the game with a grand slam as he was bidding for a big home run, and Reed Johnson brought it back. Interesting thing, Bob, is Reed Johnson didn't start the game. He came in for Bradley.
And Reed Johnson also said he's practiced that play in spring training, but has never had an opportunity to do it during a game, but couldn't have picked a better time. Prince Fielder with a tip of the cap to Reed Johnson.
So the Cubs end up winning that game. They took 10 walks in the ball game, 4 in 1 inning with the bases loaded as they head home 4-2. And let's send it down to the field now, and our own Dan Roan is standing by.
Well, let me give you a weather update, Lenny. It's still raining. That would be the update. But actually it does seem to be a little lighter than it was before, more of a heavy mist than an actual rain. So maybe things will clear up, and we'll get some baseball underway here before too long. But right now we want to talk to a couple of the fans that have braved the elements to come out here today. And these guys, even though they're standing out in the pouring rain and the wind, they consider themselves lucky because 2 hours ago you didn't have these seats, right?
We didn't have these seats. No, we didn't. We got a call from our boss to send us down here because it was raining, and just very generous to them. So we're hoping to see some action today. Can't beat this, even though it's raining. Listen to this crowd. This is what it's all about.
Well, you know what they're cheering for. The grounds crew has come onto the field, and that can only mean the tarp is coming off. So you guys are going to see some baseball. So do we name the guy who gave you the tickets?
Oh, yeah. We're thankful for everything. For our partners, their turn. Tom DiNardo, thank you. A little shout out. Mike Mayday. Thanks everyone at CTC.
Yeah, appreciate it. Give us some opening day time, so you can't beat this.
Fair weather fans, though, right?
Any weather fan. Right now.
This is perfect weather. I wouldn't expect anything else.
Your bosses.
No, they're great. No, we love them.
All right, well, you got great seats for the game. Enjoy it today.
We will.
It should be a lot of fun, and it looks like we're going to be about to get things going here.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, let's send it back upstairs.
All right, Dan, thanks. That's always a great sight. The fans are pumped up. Now, sometimes the grounds crew will take the tarp off just to get the excess water off the tarp. Doesn't necessarily mean we're 20 minutes away, but positive thinking. Maybe we are just 20 to 30 minutes away from the first pitch of the 2009 home season. Well, we have with us our good friend Pat Hughes, the longtime radio play-by-play voice of the Chicago Cubs. And Pat, I know it's always great to be back here at Wrigley Field. The weather's unpredictable, but we just come to expect that.
The fans are amazing, Len, and they make this a special atmosphere every single day. They've been waiting for this day for 5 or 6 months, ever since the playoffs ended last October. It's always a special day, and I hope we have baseball later on.
It's been a tough week or so for Major League Baseball. The tragic death of a 22-year-old pitcher, Nick Adenhart, in a car crash last week, the Los Angeles Angels pitcher. And tough one today. Our good friend, Hall of Fame broadcaster Harry Kalas, collapsed in the broadcast booth in Washington, D.C., and passed away at age 73. Harry's from Naperville, Illinois. Just a wonderful man, Hall of Fame broadcaster, and he will be missed.
I miss him already. I'm still kind of in shock, Len. I got the news about a half hour ago, as I'm sure you did also. He had one of the greatest voices, I think, in the history of American sportscasting. And not only that, he combined his God-given gift with a tremendous work ethic, which really made him a very special broadcaster and a special man. He didn't have a mean bone in his body. He treated me as nice as he possibly could have for the last 14 years. I know he treated you great. He treated everyone wonderfully. He had time for everybody. He loved this game of baseball. I was delighted that he got into the Hall of Fame in 2002, the Ford C. Frick Award winner at Cooperstown. He deserved it. He's one of the icons of our business, and I miss him already, and I will for a long time.
Yeah, we pass along our sympathies to the entire Kalas family. I know his son Todd very well. He works with the Tampa Bay Rays, and what a great call by Harry at the end of the World Series as the Phillies won for the second time.
And his wife Eileen also. I want to pass along condolences to her and their family. But he did make a great call, and I was happy that Harry Kalas got a chance to do that World Series, Len, because in 1980, when the Phillies went all the way and beat Kansas City, at that time the radio network contract did not allow local broadcasters to do the World Series. So Harry Kalas did not get a chance in 1980, and it was very upsetting. Here's a guy who loved baseball and he loved his Phillies, and he did not get a chance to broadcast the World Series. But Philly fans were outraged that Harry Kalas and Richie Ashburn were not allowed to broadcast, and as a result they flooded the offices of Major League Baseball and of the networks and said, we've got to have our main guys broadcasting the World Series. And sure enough, shortly thereafter, the rules were changed so that the local radio broadcasters would get to always broadcast World Series games. So thankfully and happily, Harry Kalas was able last fall to broadcast the Phillies in their World Series win over Tampa. But Harry is from this area. He's from the Chicagoland area, from Naperville. And he told me when he was growing up back in the 1940s, it was really a very small town of only about 5,000 people. And now Naperville is a thriving suburban area of several 100,000 people. But he loved baseball. He was kind of a White Sox fan. And he told me one time that he went to a ball game. It was during a rain delay, similar to what we have here at Wrigley Field today. And Mickey Vernon, the great first baseman for the Washington Senators, looked up into the stands and saw Harry Kalas. He was about 10 years old. And he said, "Hey, kid, come on in." And Harry says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Come on in and sit in the dugout with us." And so it was the thrill of a lifetime for young Harry Kalas. Mickey Vernon brought him into the dugout and talked to him, gave him an autographed baseball. And Harry Kalas said from that day on, he was hooked. He loved baseball forever. And not surprisingly, he was a Washington Senators fan and a Mickey Vernon fan for the rest of his life.
The one story I think about in terms of my personal relationship with Harry, of course, a longtime voice of the NFL, doing the highlight shows. And when I was working with the Florida Marlins, I was in the booth. And I guess about Tuesday or Wednesday of every week, Harry would go in and record the voice tracks for the week's highlights, and he had to go to a studio in Miami, and he asked me for directions, and I was honored that Harry Callis asked me how to get to his next thing. But as you said, maybe the greatest broadcast voice in the history of sports.
I think the work that he's done on those NFL films, and it's interesting. I think the name Harry Callis is not necessarily a household name across America, but everyone has heard his voice. As soon as you hear his voice, you say, "Oh, I know that guy." That's who Harry Callis is. He does the voiceover for the NFL films. He's also been the commercial voice for Campbell's Soup, among other commercial enterprises. But his voice was so gripping and so great, and it was natural. But again, Lenny, I would get there to the ballpark 2 or 3 hours before the game, as I know you do. You get here even earlier than I do. But there was Harry Callis every single day, going over game notes, coming in and asking us, "Hey, how are the Cubs playing, and who's pitching well, and who's hitting, and what do I need to know about your ball club?" And he always wanted to work and do the job the right way. And for that, I admired him. He didn't just rest on his laurels and let his great voice carry him through a career. He probably could have, but he didn't. He still worked hard, and I always admire that about Harry.
Well, one thing we admire about you, and you're going to be in the Hall of Fame here one of these days, not too far down the road, but you are a student of the game, not only the game on the field, but in the radio broadcast booth. And you've done a lot of homework, a lot of research on Hall of Fame broadcasters like Harry Callis and Harry Carey, as we sit here in the Cubs television booth. And it's become a passion of yours, and I know fans out there get an opportunity to hear some of the great calls with your Baseball Hall of Fame series.
Well, it's a lot of fun, Len, and thank you for bringing it up. It's called Baseball Voices, but it's a collection of highlights. It's a collection of the Hall of Fame speeches, of the life stories, of the biggest moments of a guy's broadcast career. And in the case of Harry Carey and Bob Uecker, I tell people it's guaranteed to make you laugh out loud. And you can see the latest in the series is Red Barber, who probably, in fact, definitely was the most influential play-by-play man who has ever lived. He started back in the 1930s. He was the first voice of the Reds. He was the first voice of the Dodgers. Here we are in the WGN television booth, Len. Red Barber was the first guy to do play-by-play on the first Major League Baseball telecast ever. He did the first National Football League telecast of play-by-play. He was a pioneer. But beyond being the first, he really was the first guy, I think, to take play-by-play to a new level. He was the first guy to do research. He was the first guy to be really prepared for a broadcast and do statistical research and get a little background on the ball players. Instead of just saying, here's the pitch, ball one, strike one, whatever. He would fill in the gaps with background information. He was the first guy to do that. And I think significantly, he was the first guy to really, and this, we're talking about radio broadcasting now, the first to give the listening audience a detailed description of exactly what was transpiring in a ball game. He would allow you, the listener, to actually imagine what was going on simply by his descriptive vocabulary.
Well, and that's one thing you do so well is you tell us where the ball is, and I think on radio that's certainly one of the top things that you have to do, and I've learned a lot from you about this business going back to our days in Milwaukee, and great to be here on opening day. Interesting road trip. The Cubs won 4 of 6 on the trip. It wasn't a perfect week, but that's not a perfect game, is it? You take 4 out of 6 anytime on the road.
It's always a bottom line oriented business, Len, and anytime you win 4 out of 6 on the road within your division, when a couple of your guys really haven't started hitting that well, and your pitching staff is a little bit wobbly, it's not clicking on all cylinders yet, I'll take 4 out of 6 every single road trip of the year. In fact, I always say, and in fact, it's been, I think, common knowledge and a common feeling around baseball forever. If you play 500 ball on the road, you're happy. Anything more is gravy, and then you hope to play very well and maybe win on average of 2 out of 3 at home. But yeah, 4-2 is a good road trip. The Cubs have a solid team. If they stay healthy, they are going to be a strong contender with a chance for something very special to happen this season.
We talked at the Cubs convention, and everybody had this team already in the playoffs, and you had a great line. You said, look, You have to go out and you have to play 6 straight months, 162 games. It is not easy to win a division title. People, after what's happened the last 2 years, you have to remember how difficult it is over the long haul.
Len, it is. The game is a struggle. That's just the nature of the game. Just look what happened over the weekend in Milwaukee. Those 3 games were a struggle right from the first pitch right to the end. You had 9th inning turnarounds in games 1 and 2, and you had a scary 9th inning last night when the Brewers, down by 4 runs with 2 outs and nobody on, they actually got the tying run up to the plate in the person of Prince Fielder, who hit 50 home runs, by the way, 2 years ago. And thankfully, from a Cubs standpoint, Kevin Gregg was able to overpower him and strike out Fielder to end the game. But the game is a struggle. Nothing is easy. And to think that your team is automatically going to make it into the postseason just because they've been fortunate enough to do so the last 2 years, I think you're not really respecting how difficult a regular season of Major League Baseball is. The Cubs are strong. Don't get me wrong. They could make it again, but to just assume that it's going to happen, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Have a great day today. Again, we hope to have opening day baseball from Wrigley Field. Check out baseballvoices.com. And Pat, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Very good, Len. Thank you very much. And again, I'm looking forward to it, and hope we have some baseball after the rain stops today.
And again, if you just joined us, very sad news in baseball today. Hall of Fame broadcaster Harry Kalas passing away at age 73.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach to the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, 3rd time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Hi, I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep all night in the streets.
We're going to see some amazing places. We're pretty much in the clouds. Meet incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
All without ever knowing what's around the next corner. On Around the World for Free. Premieres Thursday at 9 East, 9 West. A WGN America original.
The squeegees are out in the outfield as the grounds crew prepares the surface of Wrigley Field for the Cubs home opener. Throwing out the ceremonial first pitch today will be former Cub and Cy Young Award winner Rick Sutcliffe. Jody Davis will be the catcher today. You heard Jody on earlier with Dan Roan. They were the battery when the Cubs clinched the Eastern Division back in 1984. So let's go back 25 years and listen to Hall of Fame announcer Harry Carey as the Cubs were poised to clinch the division.
Harry Carey back in Pittsburgh. It's about to happen. A message from Eddie Munzel, former sports writer, a great gentleman, congratulating the Cubs. Barney Foshee of Mississippi, congratulations. Judge Tepton of Yankton, South Dakota, congratulations. Howard Wolpen and Rick Ruggles out of Governor Jim Thompson's office. Mayor Gann of Streamwood, Illinois. There you go. Notice the shortstop's the hitter. There you see the Cub dugout. 3 outs away from the first championship since 1945. That was a war year. Chuck Tanner's wife, Barbara, came in a moment ago to tender her congratulations. And I know Chuck, that's the first thing he'll do. Go over to congratulate Jim Fry. Boy, I wish there was a way to let you appreciate how much of this crowd is from Chicago. There's Steve ready in the dressing room. Lee Mazzilli, the pinch hitter. One out, only 2 to go. Sutcliffe about to nail it down for the Cubs. Look at the totals on the board for the Pirates. 1 run, 2 hits, 3 errors. Lee Mazzilli, the hitter. Fouls it out of play, 2 balls and a strike. That evens it up 2-2. Everybody's on their feet. Arnie, show the crowd here. It's something. They're making the noise of 50,000. Look at them, all Cub fans. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Low outside. Come on, Lee. That was close enough. Get it over with. 3-2. 1 out. Rick Sutcliffe. High fly ball. There'll be 1 to go. Bobby Danair. 2 away. 1 more and it's over. The Chicago Cubs will be the new Eastern Division champ. They're getting security men on the field. These Cub fans are going to explode. Jimmy Fry on his feet. First up, then down. First up, then down. Who's excited? Joe Salak, who has both hits. A dribbling triple to right that just rolled around in the corner against the wall, and a safe bunt. That's how close Sutcliffe has been to perfection. This guy's the only base runner, and he was on twice. Was picked off once. He will have faced only 28 men. 27 would be perfection. He started to swing, he held up. Hey, on the appeal, he went around, they say. Listen to this crowd. Might as well join them. Hey, Cubs are the champion. The Cubs are the champion. The Cubs win. Look at that mob scene. Orsulak out on strike. Rick Sutcliffe is 14th in a row. 16-1 for the year. He faced only 28 men. He pitched a 2-hitter. Let's just watch him. The fans are getting out on the field.
What a great call. What a great night. We'll talk with Rick Sutcliffe about that moment a little bit later on after the 7th inning stretch. First pitch scheduled now for 2:30 Central Time. Cubs hosting the Rockies. We'll have more of our rain delay coverage next.
There is only one place to see it all. World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, 1-hour show featuring every WWE superstar.
The rated R superstar.
Charismatic enigma.
The legend killer, Randy Orton.
Time to play a game. Rest in peace.
Every diva.
The most beautiful athletic women in the world.
Every heart-pounding moment.
You can't miss this.
WWE Superstars. Every Thursday. Only on WGN America. Expect action. Expect drama. Expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America. Superstar.
Man, love that drinkability.
Drink a what?
Drinkability. It's what makes Bud Light so incredibly refreshing. It's like a wave of refreshment, gently washing over your whole body. It's getting bigger. Here comes the refreshment. That almost never happens.
Easy drinking, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
No hard feelings.
Rockies and Cubs will get it going in about 40 minutes here from Wrigley Field. Well, we just witnessed one of the great moments in Chicago Cubs history, getting to the postseason back in 1984 for the first time in 39 years. We saw something last September that we hadn't seen since 1972. That is a Cubs no-hitter. Unique circumstances, as the Cubs were supposed to be in Houston, but because of the hurricane, the two teams had to play at a neutral site. So Miller Park in Milwaukee was chosen September 14th. The Cubs and the Astros, and Carlos Zambrano, believe it or not, was coming off a long rest because of some shoulder issues, but he ended up pitching the best game of his life. So let's check out the bottom of the ninth as Carlos Zambrano was going for a no-hitter. The Cubs and the Astros right here on WGN.
Carlos Zambrano getting ready for the bottom of the ninth. Fans are already standing all around the ballpark. This is when Z walked out of the dugout to get ready for the last of the ninth. And we want to welcome those viewers watching ESPN's coverage of the Tigers and White Sox around the country, along with Bob Brenly, Len Casper here in Milwaukee. Cubs and the Astros in the bottom of the ninth. Humberto Quintero hits a ground ball to Ryan Theriot. One pitch, one out. Pinch hitter now, Jose Castillo for Jack Castle, the pitcher. That last pitch was the 100th of the night for Carlos.
Jose Castillo 5 for 21 lifetime against Big Z.
Strike one at the knees. One and one. A wind and a pitch inside. The two lower levels in this ballpark packed. Over 23,000 in attendance tonight. And they have been riveted by the performance of Carlos Zambrano. A chopper to Theriot. He backs up a bit. Two down. Here comes Darren Erstad. He is 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice and struck out. Bottom of the ninth.
once again, when Carlos has missed, he hasn't missed by much tonight. That slider just stayed a little up. He's been so in control in this ball game, and by that I mean harnessing his emotions out there on the mound and focusing all his energy on the pitches that he has to execute. He has to continue to do that here.
2-1. By the way, as we mentioned, DeRosa now playing second, Fukudome in right. Astros up on the top step and on the third base dugout. Here's a 2-1 pitch, fouled back, 2-2. Tons of Cub fans here in Milwaukee. This is technically a home game for the Astros. A 2-2 pitch. He bounced it up there. About the only time he's missed badly all night.
As badly as he missed, he did miss in his favor. You don't want to hang a breaking ball up there on a 2-2 count to a good hitter like Darren Erstad. He missed, and he missed by a wide margin that time.
Three and two with 2 outs. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. A no-hitter. Carlos Zambrano has no-hit the Houston Astros. Oh, baby. The first no-hitter for the Cubs since Milt Pappas in 1972. What a ball game. His teammates couldn't get to the mound fast enough. And how often have we said he has no-hit stuff tonight? He finally did it.
A lot of questions surrounding this start for Carlos Zambrano. It had been 12 days since he pitched in a major league game, has had some shoulder discomfort. I think he answered a lot of questions tonight.
Two base runners, a walk to Bourne in the fourth. He hit Pence in the fifth. That was it. As he acknowledges the Cubs fans here in attendance tonight, and really every baseball fan in attendance had to appreciate what they just witnessed.
He finishes it off with a split finger fastball, gutsy call. Gets an aggressive swinger to chase a pitch well out of the strike zone, but he was so in command from pitch one of this ball game until strike three to Darren Erstad. Congratulations to Carlos Zambrano and the Cubs, and special tip of the cap to Giovanni Soto. A rare thrill for a catcher to call and catch a no-hitter.
And we have Carlos Zambrano with us down on the field. Carlos, Len and Bob here. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. You know, still can't believe it, you know, and it's just exciting.
Take it all in.
I'm tired, man, you know.
You should be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tired from, you know, jumping in the mound with my teammates, you know. But this is great, man.
That's a good kind of tired, Carlos. It looked like you really had everything working well tonight. Your fastball was popping. How did you feel after 12 days off?
I felt good, man. You know, I think the rest helped me out a lot, you know, and I was able to command my fastball today, and I know my pitches was working great today, and you know, I was hitting. I was watching the gun in the first inning. You know, I was throwing it 99, 98. So I said, let's get it on. You know, when I felt like that, you know, just challenge the hitter and just be aggressive.
Carlos, you started the game 3-0 on Darren Erstad, but you still felt good, right? No problem.
Yeah.
Just needed that first strike.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, you know, that you know, make me get a little, you know, distracted from the game. You know, that the umpire calls and Ramiro talked to me, and I said, you know, I feel too great to, you know, to argue with the umpire and you know, just let it go and just pitch the game.
Was anybody on the bench saying anything to you? I mean, I assume you knew you had a no-hitter going. Was anybody talking to you on the bench?
No, Gio just told me that, you know, just come on, let's go, you can do it. And that was it, you know. And the pitching coach in the ninth inning, he told me use your leg, and you know, that helped me a lot.
Do you know when the last Cubs no-hitter was thrown?
Mil Papas.
You're right. Do you remember the year?
I don't remember. But
Before you were born, 1972.
Every time I go to the Cubs convention, he said, "You will be the next one. You will be the next one." You know, and I appreciate that. You know, the confidence and you know, everything that he said to me in the Cubs convention.
All right, Carlos. Last thing, you have the stage. Anything else you want to say?
You know, I just want to give thanks to my Lord and you know, all the people that believe in this team, and you know, the next step would be the World Series. That's the main concern.
Congratulations, Z. That was fun to watch.
Thank you, guys.
What a performance!
What a moment. We've been smiling in the booth for the last 15 minutes watching that great bottom of the ninth, great interview after the game. And it's opening day 2009 at Wrigley Field. Game 7 of the regular season. Game 1 at home. We'll have the introductions of the players when we come back.
I'm Alex Boylan. Join me as I circumnavigate the globe without a penny in my pocket.
I can't sleep now on the streets.
We're gonna see some amazing places. We're pretty much in the clouds. Meet incredible people.
That feeling you get at nighttime is your soul's recognition that it's finally home.
All without ever knowing what's around the next corner. On Around the World for Free. Premieres Thursday at 9 East, 9 West. A WGN America original.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. Sing it. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
Rockies and Cubs, home opener for the Northsiders. Let's send it over to public address announcer Paul Friedman.
Number 25, hitting coach Don Baylor. Number 36, pitching coach Bob Apodaca. Number 43, third base coach Rich Dower. In the bullpen, number 59, bullpen catcher Mark Strittenmatter. The Rockies' head athletic trainer is Keith Duggar. Assistant athletic trainer Scott Garrett. Strength and conditioning specialist Brian Jordan. Video coordinator Brian Jones. Assistant clubhouse director Joe Diaz. And the Cubs visiting clubhouse manager is Michael Burkhart. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce today's non-starters for the Colorado Rockies. Number 6, Omar Quintanilla. Number 7, Seth Smith. Number 8, Yorvit Torrealba. Number 9, Ian Stewart. Number 12, Clint Barmas. Number 16, Houston Street. Number 21, Jason Marquis. Number 28, Aaron Cook. Number 29, Jorge De La Rosa. Number 32, Glendon Rush. Number 34, Matt Belisle. Number 37, Ryan Spire. Number 41, Alan Embry. Number 46, Jason Hamill. Number 49, Jason Greeley. And number 60, Manuel Corpas. And now, ladies and gentlemen, today's starting lineup for the Colorado Rockies. Leading off and playing center field, number 24, Dexter Fowler. Batting second and playing left field, number 19, Ryan Spilborghs. Hitting third and playing first base, number 17, Todd Helton. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 27, Garrett Atkins. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 11, Brad Hawk. Hitting sixth and playing shortstop, number 2, Troy Tulowitzki. Hitting seventh and playing second base, number 10, Jeff Baker. Batting eighth and catching today's game for Colorado, number 20, Chris Iannetta. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher for the Rockies today, with a record of 1 win with no losses and no earned run average, right-hander, number 38, Ubaldo Jimenez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 2009 Chicago Cubs. First, the 2009 Chicago Cubs coaching staff. Number 3, bench coach Alan Trammell. Hitting coach, number 28, Gerald Perry. Third base coach, number 8, Mike Quade. First base coach, number 39, Matt Sinatro. In the bullpen coach, number 35, Lester Strode. Also in the bullpen, pitching coach, number 50, Larry Rothschild. Special assistant, number 11, Ivan De Jesus. In the bullpen catcher, number 98, Edgar Tovar. And bullpen catcher, number 96, Corey Miller. The Cubs head athletic trainer is Mark O'Neill. Assistant athletic trainer, Ed Halber. Strength and conditioning coordinator, Tim Buss. The home clubhouse manager is Tom Hellman. And the assistant home clubhouse manager is Gary Stark. And now, fans, introducing today's non-starters for the Chicago Cubs. Please welcome number 4, Joey Gathright. Number 6, Micah Hoffpar. Number 16, Aramis Ramirez. Number 18, Giovanni Soto. Number 21, Milton Bradley. Number 37, Angel Guzman. Number 38, Carlos Zambrano. Number 40, Rich Harden. Number 45, Sean Marshall. Number 46, Ryan Dempster. Number 47, Aaron Heilman. Number 48, Neil Kotz. Number 49, Carlos Marmol. Number 51, Luis Vizcaino. Number 54, David Patton. And number 63, Kevin Gregg. And now, your opening day starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs. First, please welcome our manager. Welcome the 2008 NL Manager of the Year, number 41, Lou Piniella. Leading off and playing left field, number 12, Alfonso Soriano. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 2, Ryan Theriot. Hitting third and playing center field, number 1, Kosuke Fukudome. Batting in the cleanup spot and playing first base, number 25, Derek Lee. Hitting fifth and playing third base, number 17, Mike Fontenot. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 9, Reed Johnson. Hitting seventh and playing second base, number 7, Aaron Miles. Batting eighth and catching today's game for the Cubs, number 55, Coy Hill. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher for the Cubs today with a record of 1 win with no losses and an earned run average of 9. Warming up in the left field bullpen, left-hander number 30, Ted Lilly. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2009 Chicago Cubs. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to ask you to join us in a moment of silence to mark the passing of a member of the Major League Baseball family. Nick Adenhart and 2 others were tragically killed Wednesday night, hours after Nick threw 6 scoreless innings in his season debut with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Please join us in a moment of silence in Nick Adenhart's honor. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Earlier today, the baseball world lost a true legend. Hall of Fame broadcaster Harry Kalas passed away at the age of 73. Kalas made his major league debut calling games for the Houston Astros in 1965 and was hired by the Philadelphia Phillies in 1971. He soon won the hearts of Phillies fans everywhere and became one of the most distinctive voices in all of baseball. Please join us in a moment of silence in honor of the legendary Harry Kalas. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome U.S. Army Specialist Eunice Hernandez from the Illinois National Guard's 33rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team. On January 20th, at the Commander-in-Chief Inaugural Ball, President Barack Obama reached out to Specialist Hernandez and 6 other soldiers in Kabul, Afghanistan. When asked by her new Commander-in-Chief which Chicago baseball team she supported, Specialist Hernandez and many of her troop members proudly told President Obama that they were Cubs fans. Specialist Hernandez is soon to be redeployed, and the Chicago Cubs would like to take this moment to thank her and every soldier for their courage and sacrifice in defending this great country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area behind home plate. Presenting the colors for today's game are soldiers of the 106th Cavalry Squadron from Kewaunee and Dixon, Illinois. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join Chicago favorite Wayne Messmer, accompanied by organist Gary Pressey, as we honor the United States of America with the singing and playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched marched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Wayne Messmer with our national anthem. Opening day festivities from Wrigley Field. You're watching the Chicago Cubs on opening day from Wrigley Field in beautiful high definition on WGN Sports. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition, sponsored by Comcast. They do have heaters in the dugouts, but it's cold down there, and just anecdotally talking to people who've been up in the booth and down on the field, it sounds like it's colder down there. It's cold up here.
It's definitely cold up here, but it is opening day. That tends to take away that 31-degree wind chill that we're dealing with today. The forecast is blustery and cold throughout the afternoon. For the time being, the rain has slowed to a very light mist, and hopefully we'll be able to get this game underway and get it played to completion.
Still have one very important item of business to take care of before the opening pitch of the game, and that is the ceremonial first pitch. We just saw him. Rick Sutcliffe, Cy Young Award winner, 16-1 with the Cubs in 1984. And he's with his catcher, Jody Davis. And they're going to team up once again here at Wrigley.
Well, this is not the first time those two guys have taken the field under these kinds of conditions. I'm sure Rick Sutcliffe towed that rubber out here at Wrigley Field many times when it was blustery and cold and wet. And, of course, Jody Davis, catchers love the bad weather.
Great to see Sut. He's feeling good. We saw him in spring training. Battled colon cancer last year, underwent chemotherapy and surgery, and has made a full recovery, and a big hand for Sut. So we're ready. The Cubs hosting the Rockies. The Wrigley Field home opener for 2009 is right around the corner. Stay with us.
There is only one place to see it all. World Wrestling Entertainment presents WWE Superstars. Every Thursday, a brand new, exclusive, one-hour show featuring every WWE superstar.
The rated R superstar. Charismatic enigma. The Legend Killer, Randy Orton. Time to play a game. Rest in peace.
Every diva.
The most beautiful athletic women in the world.
Every heart-pounding moment.
You can't miss this.
WWE Superstars. Every Thursday. Only on WGN America. Expect action. Expect drama. Expect everything. Thursday at 8 East, 8 West on WGN America.
That hits the spot. It's drinkability. Means Bud Light is good wherever you are.
If you're at a party or playing golf like those guys, Or here's the bar.
Draw another door.
Don't say draw.
Never filling, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
7 aces.
Welcome back. No, it's Major League Baseball, not NHL hockey. They had the Winter Classic on New Year's Day. Blackhawks hosting the Red Wings here. And I was at that game, Bob, and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, I'd probably take this on opening day. The only difference, it might be a couple of degrees warmer. There was no rain on New Year's Day. In fact, they had to import some snow onto the field to make it look more wintry.
Well, if the temperature keeps dropping here today, they won't need to import snow. It will fall from the skies. Wind chill is bitterly, bitterly cold here today.
Umpires heading out to home plate. We'll have the exchange of the lineup cards here in a second. And here's how the Rockies will line up. They've hit 12 home runs, tied for the most in the majors. They lead the National League in runs. Fowler will lead it off. Spielborg's Helton Atkins. Brad Hopp is out in right. Troy Tulowitzki at short. It's Jeff Baker at second. Chris Iannetta catching. Ubaldo Jimenez pitching. This is a homegrown lineup. Every one of those players has been either drafted or signed originally by the Rockies.
Let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively behind Ted Lilly. Brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Makeshift lineup today for Luke Piniella for the home opener. Soriano in left, Reed Johnson in center. Kosuke Fukudome moves back to right field. Fontenot will be filling in for Aramis Ramirez at third base. Aramis with a little back discomfort. Terrio at short. Aaron Miles at second base today. Derek Lee at his usual first base position. Coy Hill once again getting the nod today, and he'll be doing the catching for left-hander Ted Lilly.
The umpires, Andy Fletcher's going to work the plate. The crew chief, Tim McClellan. Ted Barrett at second. Greg Gibson at third. Andy Fletcher born in New Mexico, but he lives in Iowa. So not a huge deal with the weather for him today. His former Cub Glenn Allen Hill out there for the lineup exchange. He's their first base coach. Cubs have had their way with the Rockies the last 8 times they have met in this ballpark. Cubs have won all 8. Look at the starters earned run average for the Rockies. Ouch.
Kind of speaks to the Cubs offense here. Those last 8 ball games, they pounded this Rockies pitching staff. They're going to have their hands full today with Ubaldo Jimenez, however. As I mentioned a while ago, one of the best young right-handers in the game. On a given day, he can have no-hit stuff.
Clint Hurdle, the Rockies manager's 8th season, his 7th full campaign, and his hitting coach is former Cubs manager Don Baylor. It's kind of interesting, Bob.